at this juncture, may I ask you, are you planning to write a book of yourself? I'm sure if you sit to write, definitely there is going to be, so many chapters that you can, focus on.
Shall I write about you?
Please,
that would be
please go ahead. It would. Oh, please go ahead. In fact, a few days back, I was just thinking about this, that I want somebody to write my story, because my story is also very interesting. It's like a total dramatic film story if I reveal the entire truth. Not otherwise.
Yes.
Yes. And Meera, you coming here on Zindagi Ka Parcha, if you remember, I was pursuing you almost for 3 years.
Really?
Remember when you came last to Chembur?
Anyway.
Yeah. Yes, Chembur and then Cochin. I wanted to meet you.
Because Ariha is there, right? So I need to have someone to take care of him so that I can take the time to do something. But if it's not possible, my first focus is Ariha. That's how it is.
Yeah. No. We were planning to, and there were some clashes and things like that. We couldn't. Then I came to Cochin, and there also there was something that was happening. It was too far for me to travel. But then I did have this idea that one day Meera Vasudevan is going to come to Zindagi Ka Parcha, and here she is. So this is law of attraction manifested.
Thank you. I'm so grateful you invited me to be a part of this. I myself have been waiting so eagerly to do something like this with you.
Wonderful, wonderful. It is my pleasure, I believe, and gratitude to you as well. So what is your opinion being a student of psychology? I mean, this is really an interesting field because it's my field as well. And I realized I'm a psychology student after I finished my BSc, And that is the reason why I tell people better be careful about what you want. Like you were pretty clear, sure about what you wanted to do. So after you finished your BA in English literature, you took up psychology, or the other way around?
No, together. I took my last year through correspondence, and the thing was that I was already working by the age of 17. I was already working at the age of 17 as an actor, and I was taking care of a lot of things, a lot of family responsibilities and things. And mom was very clear that I complete my education. Although I was already busy with the career, mom was very keen that I finish studies, because she said it will lay the foundation for any further, future pursuits. Anything you want to study, anything you want to do, you need to have a degree.
Yeah.
So that really helped me. And she was the one who did all the running around to get everything for me. I just had to choose what I want to do. And my selection was English literature and psychology, two of the things that I really enjoy, apart from science. So these just as the next best. Like I said, maths was
Don't ask. I remember when I gave my 12th standard derivatives and what was that? Limits and integration. If you tell that word now, I'll start getting nightmares now.
I learned how to read time in my 9th standard. Till then, I used to go by the direction of the sun and the shadow.
So, Meera, being in this field of psychology, what do you think? Does the body control the mind, or the mind controls the body? What's your opinion?
It's a holistic combination. They are interdependent. One works on the other. I wrote down all of my answers, to be honest. And now that I'm sitting right before you, I'm remembering school years and my mouth's like, I want to be quiet. So you see, I've recently been doing this NLP practitioner and master practitioner course. I am doing that right now during this lockdown.
Wow, what a coincidence. I did my associate NLP practitioner course just now. I just completed it.
Wow. That's awesome. That's so nice.
Awesome. Yeah.
My tutor is a gentleman called Graham Nichols, and I'm doing this through the Udemy app. Now the thing is that the way he presents a lot of concepts have been very eye-opening. Okay, and I've realized that most of us live through life in a very unconscious format, and we need others to make us happy.
Yes.
It's like if you told me that, you look horrible, your eyebrows look so ugly, and I would go into a complete heartbreak and the rest of my interview would be absolutely miserable. Okay, so what we do is, we set very easy standards to be unhappy and very high standards to be happy. And our dependence is very high on others to make us happy. For example, only if you say something good about me will I feel happy.
Yes.
Okay, which means it's in your control what I do.
True.
So my own mind and body are not in my control in that case, and most of us are unhappy because of that. And it's so easy to set ourselves up to feel bad for anything so easily. So easily.
True.
What I learned from this is one of the best things I learned. It really changed a lot for me. Is that lower standards for happiness. Make it really easy to be happy and make it in your control.
True.
Whereas the negatives make it really difficult to achieve a negative state.
True.
Like, for example, I'll tell you my negative states are that my guru, Raghunath Swami, and my God, Krishna, should come down together and call me unworthy, completely disown me, abuse me, threaten me, or body shame me, etc., etc. That is never going to happen. So I can always be happy. You think they would really make that effort to make me feel bad? No, they wouldn't. So you have to set an impractical rule for unhappiness. Only on that condition you will be unhappy, not otherwise.
But I think they reside within you, so they are a part of you. So
yes, I agree.
Yeah. So and I don't think
you're not clear what I said. Let me get to the positive part first.
Yeah.
So how do I feel happy? How do I feel happy is when I step out of my house, I look at someone, I smile, I wave out to them. Or I just look at the sky and I see that it's bright and sunny and I smile about that. I feel grateful. The moment I get up, I smile feeling grateful that I have one more day to accomplish something. I can breathe. I breathe well. I'm healthy. I can work out. I have a great body. You know, so there are so many things that I can feel grateful for. Small things that I can smile and you know, thank myself and thank God for. So you make it really easy to be happy. Let the smallest things you do be focused on making you happy. So I no longer have to depend on another person. I smiled. That makes me happy. Whether the other person smiles or not does not matter. I am happy. See, that's more important. And as far as the negative is concerned, let's see it in this way. Like say, for example, if you are someone who feels unhappy easily, you can train your mind into creating a rule for itself or a belief for itself, which says that only if my mother or father, all my family members, and you know all of my husband, my children, and everybody from my husband's side, or my guru, my God, everybody comes together, stands in front of me, and calls me unworthy, undeserving of love, abandons me, treats me badly, etc., etc., etc. Then I will feel unhappy. Then I will be affected and be in a negative mood. Is that ever going to happen? Tell me honestly. Do all these people have the time in the world to come there and to make you feel bad? No. So are there any chances of you being unhappy? Only on that condition are you unhappy. That's it. Otherwise you're happy all the time.
So I have a different take on it, and if we start discussing this, I think the entire session will be over. So I'll get back to this particular point in a personal conversation. But a different perspective you have shown to things. So I will think about it. I am not, as of now, agreeing to the second part of it, but we will take it up personally later on. I just did a small gesture, or I just put my hair on this side. So in NLP, we talk about matching. So I just wanted to build that up more, and that's it. Just for the viewers.
Few decades now.
Yes. Being brave was a journey. How did you walk on that path? So what were your challenges, your relationships, your achievements?
You know, to be brave, sometimes you need to be foolish. I am foolish. I'm vulnerable. I'm open to making mistakes. I'm not afraid of failures. I'm not afraid of the judgments of others. I'm self-focused. Therefore, every time I fall, I can rise because I have my own self to consider first.
True.
I've got to fix myself first. So the opinions of others really don't matter to me. I realized very early on that during my childhood, I went through a very bad phase where I was all by myself and I had to deal with a lot. And
True.
that made me self-reliant in a way, or it made me rely on my own self to solve my issues. That made me a problem fixer or solution finder within
Mm-hmm.
me. The way I
Yeah.
do that is seeking my support from God. And I try to develop that personal bond by writing journals. So I would
Okay.
have my diary and I would address everything to dear Krishna. Okay, and
Hmm.
then I would write everything down, details and details and details, whatever possible details I can put in there, in every sensory format possible. This is what I heard, this is what I felt, this is what I saw. So you just involve all your senses, put everything right down there, and you're talking to God. There's nothing to hide, nothing to be judged for. Okay, He's
True.
not going to turn around and make you feel bad. He knows already. By the end of it, I realized somewhere along the line, I started taking responsibility for
Okay.
all that was happening to me. No matter
Okay.
my age, no matter my situation. I started
So
taking
there was no
responsibility.
blame. No
Yeah,
blame.
yeah, no blame on others. It was my responsibility. And once I accepted the responsibility, all I had to do was accept my faults next. Whatever it is, I accept, I forgive myself for it. Now the next thing is move on. What's to be done next? So I would outline the steps to get out of it. Fix tiny, tiny goals and start working on it. So every time I would get pulled back by something into something emotional or depressing or exhausting, I would go back to that vision board of mine. I would go back to that image I've drawn for myself, those goals that I've outlined, read through them, whether they are emotionally making an impact at that time or not, whether I feel like it or not. But I would read through them again and again and again and force myself to visualize that sensually to the point that I start feeling that way. It was an
Okay.
effort, it was a conscious effort to change every pattern. And the
Yeah.
second thing, most of us find it easy to react, to get provoked, to get
True.
affected,
True.
you know. So what happens is I realize there is no need to. It doesn't matter. What
Right.
matters is me, how I feel, how I respond. So even if you said something bad to me, I would just laugh it off. It doesn't even matter. I've had so many people ask me so many things, and look at me personally, professionally. Look at me. I have a very colorful background right there. So there's plenty to ask that I can feel offended by. There's plenty that I can feel offended by. But then my personal life would be a mess if I kept getting upset for everything. The most important thing is knowing what's important to me and responding, taking time. And I have to thank my therapist for that, Dr. Smita Dhavle. She helped me understand the difference between reactivity and thoughtful response. She
Yes.
taught me how to handle situations and myself, no matter what. She really empowered me.
Wow. So this is actually what we teach in the Communication Excellence Training Program, which I am conducting. Tomorrow will be the third batch. And this is
Wow.
exactly what we are teaching on how to thoughtfully respond rather than,
Yeah.
immediate reaction.
Yeah.
So we've had wonderful responses, and one voice response I would like to see is just, this was in another class, that is emotional intelligence. So this boy, I asked him, see the height of self-awareness. Even when you're speaking, I was so, intrigued by the fact that you were so self-aware right from the beginning. And you would
Mm.
mark out those things. You had a plan prepared and working on those goals. So this guy, he's also a child of 9 years, and my ex-student's child. So she just brought him in for some issues. So I am just, coaching him through voice alone. I'm not seeing him. I'm coaching him through voice alone. So we came to a point where we were talking about. I just asked him, "What do you think you need to change about yourself?" So he says, I need to remove myself from chaotic environments. A 9-year-old child saying this.
That's beautiful. That is so beautiful.
What is the chaotic environment? The chaotic environment is a school.
To each his own.
And then when I ask him, just think about it. So I asked him, just think about it. Is it your school? Your entire school is a chaos. So he says, no, it's just maybe my classroom. So then from the school, we came to the classroom. He is super awesome.
Thanks for viewing, and I'm sure you've had a good time. Like, comment, subscribe, and share as much as possible so that others too can be enlightened. We'll be happy to bring you more and more videos, and if you have any queries with regards to personal development and personal growth, do write to us at seminarbiji@gmail.com or message us on 8355 824 990. I win when you win. God bless.